The speed of light is 186,000 miles a second. Think on that for a moment. Get a cup of tea, read a book, walk down the town, talk to someone you love. Let that velocity permeate through your being for a day. Now think on it in terms of reality, real life. If you got on a plane that could do this speed, say cruising, then you would circle the entire Earth 7.75 times every second. Every second. And yet it takes light 8 minutes and 20 seconds to get from the sun to your skin. This ignites my imagination. Let us say that you boarded said light-speed plane with a ticket to cross the galaxy. You set off, but it still takes you a full day to leave the accepted boundaries of this solar system. Let's say the captain is a crazy type. Let's say he wants to plough right through the heart of the Milky Way. It would take you, the captain, his crew, your fellow passengers, and that pretty blonde who serves you bad tea 72,000 years to get to the other side. That is scale. Here are some more facts that weigh me down. 1 in 5 people have the AIDS virus on the continent of Africa. Each second, when the sun is high on a clear day, a kilowatt of energy reaches every square metre of Earth it touches. In total, this energy is 1 million times more than the United States uses in a full year. It is effectively free. Conservative figures put the total civilian deaths in the Iraq War at 100,000. A Range Rover supercharged V8 will drive 12 miles on a gallon of petrol. A Toyota Prius will drive 55 miles on a gallon of petrol. The Range Rover is manufacturer to scrap, cleaner than a Toyota Prius. The internal combustion engine is a 25% efficient energy converter. A nuclear reactor is 39% efficient. An electric motor is 93% efficient. When you look up into the night sky and pick a star, you are not only looking through a huge distance, you are looking through a huge time. If the universe or universes are really infinite, then anything you can think of, however crazy, is happening, has happened, or is about to happen. Furthermore, you are doing, have done, or are about to do all of those things. This is easy, concrete. The everyday is the hard stuff. Any man, woman, or child can see the above. Watch the news, pick a random article on Wikipedia and read. What of the concrete? Feelings are concrete. When you boil down all that has been felt by humanity, you get an electrochemical soup. Events and flavours that mean something to the being that felt them. This is the fabric of reality, not that time when you were in a restaurant and the steak wasn't quite done to your liking, or the time that the barman put a little bit too much head on your beer and you asked him in no uncertain terms to sort it out. The way you made those people feel, that's concrete. Today, on the outskirts of a pretty Cotswold town, in a building older than the surrounding sovereign state, I wipe tables. You watch me. I weave through the round and the square, the faded and the new. Those tables with their cast iron bases and their varnished tops that wear with every application of some horrific chemical that sanitizes the wood. I'm 28 and you are 18. When I was 10, you were being born. When I lost my virginity, you were 5. You were learning to count and occasionally wetting yourself. You finish polishing the cutlery and take the time to visit the loo. You see me busy. You see that solemn look upon my face as I work. Down to business, down to the things that must be done. The chores, the ball ache, the done deals. I work, I eat. You don't go straight in. You stand with your back against the wall, giving me your best sultry look. I carry on. You breathe small talk in my direction. I reply. I give one-syllable answers. Your words flow over the black and brown tiled floor past the bar. In the far corner, a giant yucca's leaves wander in the air as we speak. I think on whether our speech will help or hinder its growth. You give up and move on. I dismantle the coffee machine. I like the coffee machine. It makes me say things of passion. It helps me pass the time with quick banter and fervid action. Most of all, I like the coffee machine because I believe it is one of those machines that has a certain something. Fools would refer to this as a soul. It is a genuine coffee machine. It is black. It has a steam dial and a nozzle at each end. It has 2 docks for the cups. It is a mass of steam plumbing clothed in a steel body, a record player in an MP3 world. At full chat you can have two people working either end with the pressure dial flowing up and down as they produce confection with the same speed and flow as two world-class pianists performing a duet. Every single coffee they make is different. Next time you're in a place so equipped, watch. It is beautiful. As I remove the drainage plate, you pull the toilet door and come out, back into the bar. Your flat shoes with their tiny bows on the top clap the floor. In a way they are low cut. They bow down to reveal a cleavage of toes. I've never been into feet. Plenty of people are, I know. I'm conventional in my tastes. But then, you are the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Even your feet are beautiful to me. Every time I get drunk, I disgrace myself in front of my peers by saying, "She's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen." What do the books say? What do the movies say? They say ridiculous things like, when Dirk Pitt saw Bella Flower, he thought she was the sexiest woman he'd ever seen. Later in the novel, you find they've lived out their entire lives joyfully married. The above scene was a flashback. This is where it happened, you think. This is where my life must go. There can be no other way. There was a time I was sat smoking weed in a grey zip-up hoodie and blue boxer shorts while a character in a film I was watching received some advice from his father. If you ever manage to make a beautiful woman fall in love with you, marry her. I think he was paying a compliment to his son's wife. "Oh, Dad," said the son as he put his arm around his father's shoulder. His wife blushed, or beamed, or whatever bullshit the lazy writers of this film I was too stoned to get away from had sent me. Still, I'm fascinated by it. Let's imagine it. Let's imagine that one day I'm wiping the tables and you're polishing the cutlery. In a childlike way, you've used too much vinegar to make the steel shine, and I can smell you coming down the corridor. Again, you lean up against the doorframe with your hands behind your back and you pout. You ask me how my night has been, and I turn around and say, "To tell you the truth, it has been like any other night. I served the middle classes, who were mostly pleasant. I made dirty jokes with the chef about the woman on table 12, but mostly I spent the evening debating whether I should tell you that I think you are the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Now, and if you could give me a moment to explain, please understand that I do not take this decision lightly. I understand that you are only 18, and if you are interested in spending the rest of your life with me, then could we please sign some sort of deal? You see, I don't know anything about you. You don't make me laugh, and you don't make me think that much, but perhaps we could grow to love each other. Perhaps I just need someone truly beautiful in my life. Could we finish as normal tonight and then get into my car? Could we use some of my savings to drive to Rome? Could we sleep on the seats, get drunk in Paris or cry in Auschwitz? Could we buy brioche or get lost in Geneva? Could we have awkward moments with your parents as they discover their little girl has fallen in love with a broke, unpublished writer? In reality, this would stun you, or you would laugh it off. Only those people I call my friends would consider a response worthy of the effort I'd put into this speech. Perhaps I should pull a trick. It is always amusing to note that swearing in an English accent is much more fun than an American accent. It's to do with the vowels. English heightens the consonants. Fuck. Say it in an English accent. Say it again. Then say shit. Or if you dare, cunt. It's funny to say these horrible words. An English accent can wield these words as swords. A vowel-heavy American accent sounds foolish. As with most things, there is a different side to this. English is crap at level sex. American can be sexy. Saying I love you in an English accent makes you sound as desperate as a schoolboy in short trousers and cap having his heart broken for the first time. Breathe it in an American accent during sex, and the whole world will come with you. With all of this in mind, perhaps I should engineer a speech that is vowel-heavy, something that slurs its way into a climax that sees us go to the office, sign out on the clipboard, and get into my car. We would not have to say anything. We would start by moving through the B roads and onto the A roads. Soon enough we would be warping along a motorway heading for the Channel Tunnel. Occasionally, you would smile at me from across the cabin. Eventually, you would venture your hand onto mine where it rests, palm down on the gear shift. We would not speak to each other for 2 or maybe even 3 days. We would meet at the checkout on our supply stops. We would exchange only looks. We would load ourselves and our food into the car. We would cut cheese and butter to put into our baguettes and sit in silence while the rain makes white noise on the windows. We would ripple this smooth surface of silence when something would make us laugh. We would fall from laughing to kissing. We would make love, not fuck, make love. Perhaps it wouldn't last very long, but nothing else would matter. I would fall asleep in your arms and we would wake up to a sunrise that marks the beginning of our existence together. We would chatter and laugh and tell each other about what reminds us that we are alive. A cynic would scoff at this. I would scoff at this. But what is true? Would true be that you would go to university with your pretty face and athletic figure and would be exposed to the persistence of men your own age? How would I square that? Would it eat away at my confidence? Would I meet someone who can beguile me with words? Would you mature and see me for the desperate man that I so clearly am? Would your looks attract a banker or a rock star or someone with stupid money to spend on gifts and dining out at the Ritz? I have played out our existence in a variety of simulations and been horrified at the sheer number of ways that we would fall short of each other. Perhaps we should never think of these things too much. It is decided then. I will say something. I will ask you if you would like to come to the cinema or to see someone perform at the literary festival. Action. Get on with it and win her. Damn the simulations, damn the age difference. Love and beauty will win through. Someone is trying to get my attention. A cappuccino is late to a table. I've forgotten to send someone's mains to the kitchen. You breeze past, smelling a little too much of perfume, a skateboard in each hand. At the end of our shift, I will be cashing up in the office with the assistant manager. We will exchange banter about that time he passed out drunk. You will walk in to sign out. We will change the subject. Thank you for your hard work, and you will leave. Cash up finished and a Guinness downed. I will exit the pub and walk across the Shell car park, hoping that somehow you had broken into my car and had spent the last 30 minutes waiting for me. I will find no such girl in my car, and I will drive home. I will drive home faster than is legal because it is 1 a.m. This is my time with my machine. I will arrive home, put the car in neutral, gather my things from the interior, then pull the silver door handle and climb out. The car will tick as it cools behind me. I will walk across the street. I will open the door to the house that I share with 3 friends and a variety of transient dope smokers and say, "Hi." I will be perky to their stoned for hours vision. I will make small talk and then get changed. I will roll a joint and sit outside looking at the stars, wondering who or what could be looking back at me. Someone will join me. I will tell that person a little about the speed of light. Perhaps I will see their mind expand. Perhaps not. They're just waiting for their turn to speak. I will watch telly until 5 a.m. before I retire to my bed. I won't masturbate. I will sleep. I won't dream of you. None of this will happen. All of this has happened. Somewhere, you and I are married. You are pregnant with our first child.